A tēnā rā tātou katoa. Heoi anō, mihi tika ana, me mihi atu ki tō tātou iwi kāinga no konei. Te matua rā, kua karakia, kua mihi, kua whakatau i a tātou katoa. Nō reira mihi atu ki aia. Mihi anō hoki ki te rōpū kai whakahaere, tēnei hui, tēnā koutou mō koutou mahi, kia huhui ai tātou. Me mihi atu ki a tātou kua taimai ki ngā tōpito o te motu nei. Tātou te whānau o te wānanga o Aotearoa, tēnā koutou katoa. Ai, ko te pora nehua Kauwhata tōku ingoa, no te tai toke rau, he uri anō au ngā hapu kato o whāngarei, e mihi atu ana ki a koutou katoa. Ko taku tūranga he kai whakahaere ako ki whāngarei, he kai i muara, he kai ako mo te rāranga, he kai ako anō hoki mo te reo Māori. Nō reira ka mihi atu au ki a koutou katoa. Mo te mahi, for the first part of my mahi, we're going to do a whakatau tinana. Ko te pito, mō te whakatau I ahau. Just the Nō reira, e tū whānau. Hākina, hāputa. Ngā mihi atu ki tō tātou kai whakarite. Miro I te kahu o te ao. Interlace the fabric of the universe. This rangahau presentation, he whakaro noa, is an idea of collating, quantifying traditional practices that have been revitalised and are currently being applied in all whānau communities across Aotearoa. Although this is about one specific practice, this can be used as an exemplar for any traditional practice. And tēnā pē at the end of this presentation, maybe together we can give examples of some of those practices, maybe in your defined area. Miro I te kahu o te ao. At the beginning, I had muka I te kahu o te ao. But I put the process of miro instead of the word muka. This rangahau project will collate information pertaining to the extent that these revitalised traditional practices are being implemented at grassroots level. And what are the quantifiable benefits observed? Levels will include things like, are there karakia? Are there karanga? Is there oro? Waiata, whakapapa, pūrākau. Ko te pito. The specific practice that I'm going to focus on is to rangahau the tying of the pito. Ko te pito. Ko ngā uri whakatupu, I'd like to welcome you and introduce you to one of my mokopuna, Eastern Marsh Terence Mahanga, who has lived experience of here te pito, tying of the pito using muka. Eastern is one of 12 mokopuna who from birth was exposed to this traditional practice at a basic level, which we will cover later. It is now common for all the wahine in my whānau to make a beeline to my door for muka, so that they too can continue this practice. Basically, what do we know? We know that the options are plastic clamps or muka ties. Is there anything else that can be used? Is there anything else that is being used? This is where rangahau can take us. What other tools are used? Does changing tools to reflect the natural environment, like tuhua or obsidian, and pounamu add benefit to the outcome of this practice? This picture I put in late last night, Crystal's story. I was at a rāranga wānanga on the weekend, and they let me practice my presentation before coming to Wellington. After I finished, one of the tauira shared her story. When she was hapu with her first baby, 3 years ago, her and her tāne, who had just new to te reo, Māori, planned the whole birth process. They had karakia, they had muka tai, and they had obsidian to cut the cord. Unfortunately, in the mainstream hospital, they were told, yes, you can use the muka, but we will still be using the plastic clamp. She was horrified. But the nurse wouldn't budge. So what you see here is the pito. This is 3 years old now. The plastic clamp and a muka tai. She, after 3 years, she couldn't bring herself to bury that with the plastic clamp. And she is glad that she was able to tell her story. Koe ara te rangahau. Allow our people to tell their story. Crystal's story. Ko te pito. This rangahau hopes to find out what level is being applied to here te pito, tying of the pito. Remembering my mokopuna Eastern at his experience, was there karakia? Was there a karanga? Was there oro, sound? Was there waiata? Was the whakapapa to the tools given for them to shared with them? Were any pūrākau shared with them on the tools that they used? This is what this rangahau will collate and quantify the benefits. Hauora well-being. This rangahau will quantify the hauora well-being, space and outcomes a wairua, a hinengaro, a tinana, a whānau, a taiao. We already know the harmful effects not only of single-use plastic, but also all plastic on our environment. UN, United Nations, have registered 380,000 babies are born a day in the world. We know this, and still we use plastic. And just want to reflect back to the kōrero of the matua. That clamp is just a message of stopping our traditional practices. But we're nearly there. Tātou mā, we're nearly there. Move that clamp and we're going forward. Ngā huanga outcomes. This rangahau comes from an asset-based mindset. an approach that focuses on recognising and leveraging the strengths, skills and the potential of individuals or communities, rather than focusing on what we lack or what they lack. Strength and resources, highlighting what whānau community do well with the resources and knowledge they have. Whānau communities, implemented by the community members themselves rather than imposed from outside. Positive mindset, approaching challenges with optimism and focusing on positive outcomes. Positive changes, challenging and transforming outdated structures and practices that may have been oppressive or limiting to align with our values, our needs. This approach emphasises empowerment, self-determination and cultural revitalisation. This was the catalyst for this rangahau whakaaro, rangahau idea. The woven universe, Māori Marsden, briefly summarises the traditional whare wānanga or hokianga and their view of reality. The whare wānanga interpreted the world as a kahu, a fabric, comprising of a fabulous melange of energies. They viewed the world as a music, a singing, as rhythmical patterns of pure energy that are woven and moved with cosmological purpose and design. Our concern, therefore, should be to pay attention to how this fabric is woven and the nature of our place within it. This is what this rangahau can do for us. After the Second World War, when the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Māori Marsden returned to the whare wānanga and was questioned by elders about his war experiences. One of the elders asked them to explain the difference between the atomic bomb and the explosive bomb. I will leave you with the kōrero from Toki Pāngari, tohunga no hokianga. Ka tū mai a toki kaki, e me ana koe ko oti ngā tohunga Pākehā te hahai I te kahu o te ao. Ka ki atu, ai. Ka ki mai a toki, e tae rātou te tui tui. Ka ki atu au, ki taku mōhio, kāo. Do they know how to sew it back? No. Ka ki mai a toki, nā koea tēnā te mate o te whāngai ngā mātauranga tapu ki ngā tūtua. Politicians. Ka tūkinotia I a rātou. Ko te here I te pito is a practice that ties us to the universe. Through the energies of karakia, karanga, oro, waiata, higher vibrations that help us weave the kahu o te ao. Fabric of the universe, pure energy. Ko te pito, how are you? Miro I te kahu o te ao. I think, koea.
Tēnā koe tapu tuakana e mō, whakaaro rangatira e mō tō mahi rangahau e. Tēnā koe, tēnā koe, tēnā koe.
Do we have any questions? Pātai? Come on. Must be somebody that wants to know a bit more.
One of the questions were, what are some of those traditional practices? And I sat there and thought, and because our rongoa Māori is stepping up, there's a whole lot of new stuff happening there. But the one that's happening back at home is actually the preparation of tūpāpaku. And taking it from how we do it now to how we... It is happening. It's happening out there. Not only the preparation, also the whakatere. So that's some of the traditional practice that we could look into. But the big thing is go home, talk to the whānau that are doing it. What are they doing? Yeah. Not sure if AO can do that. Koe no e te whānau, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou.